What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and once again, I'm here with
Gershwan.
and today we're back at it, answering your questions in another installment of For the Greater WAAAGH.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And that is what Alvaro Hermani did. He asks, why are there so few, if any, Imperial planets with 21st century technology? Is it because it would be boring? I mean, a little bit of that is true, but I think at the core of it is that there is something backing it up with the lore. So the way that humanity expanded throughout the galaxy, like during their golden age, right before the Age of Strife, they had technology that can basically be summed up as like sci-fi technology, where it was centered around science and not the warp. And then the navigators started popping up and all that kind of stuff. Then it started getting a little more fantastical. And then the Age of Strife happened, which is a combination of like the Men of Iron, so the AI revolted, and then the birth of Slaanesh.
Yeah, Dark Age of Technology happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So like the Golden Age and the Dark Age of Technology, like all wrapped into one. And then after the Age of Strife, so then after the Age of Strife, the Great Crusade came out and like started going around the galaxy and just seeing what was left of the old human federation, and they would encounter worlds that had digressed to like almost savage levels.
Yeah.
And those worlds, like the night worlds, that were like very feudal in nature. And I think the reason for that is because we are taking the evolution, like during the Age of Strife, it knocked most human civilizations down to a very primitive level, and they've been working themselves back up to like the technology of the Dark Age of Technology. But that time that has passed has only been able to bring them up to like the feudal world standards. And so it's either, that's why you see such a huge gap between like either hive worlds, which are very technologically advanced, kind of, and then you have like the feudal worlds.
Right. There's also a lot more like factors into it. Like if they were surrounded by warp storms, then that's also going to affect any planet. If they're being raided by pirates or any other Xenos race, that's also going to affect them. Their proximity to the Cabal, that also affects it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different factors to actual hone in, and every single planet is going to have a different reaction or a different factor deciding that.
Yeah, because you also have to consider that like even though we've been able to reach the where we are right now, we've never had to worry about space orcs coming and attacking us, or like Eldar corsairs attacking our space station. So that's another reason why that happens. Another way you could think about it too is it's post-apocalyptic. So whenever you deal with any post-apocalyptic world, there's a lot of technology, 21st century technology, that we don't really even know how it works. Like we all have phones, but how do they work? Like, you know, in a broad sense, like, oh, it's the mechanics of the phone communicates with the satellite, and then that's like, it creates the network and all that kind of stuff. But like, how? Like, how did you actually go about building all that kind of stuff? Most people don't know that. There's very few people that know that, and those people probably died during the apocalypse. So the post-apocalypse is just a bunch of people who are just like, I don't know.
It's like nowadays, how many people actually know how to make a fire without using like gasoline or anything like that?
Just Boy Scouts.
Thankfully, we have a friend in the Boy Scouts.
Yep.
But he's a man now. So if you're a man, are you still part of the Boy Scouts?
Yeah, well, I think what it was is that you get touched as a Boy Scout, so it makes you a boy for the rest of your life.
So then I've been a boy forever.
Next question.
This one's by WAAAGH. If mankind suddenly found a way to make all newborns blanks, should they? What would happen if that actually did happen?
No, because you don't, like, blanks are nasty. Like, you don't want to be near a blank.
It's like socially awkward. You know, you feel sick around them. You don't want that. You
know
want
what?
charismatic babies.
Exactly. You want like happy babies that like blow bubbles. Like you want little Asian babies. Tom Segura did a joke about Asian babies. They're like the cutest babies of all babies. Like, yeah, I'm not even gonna say it, but what I was gonna say is that the pariah reminds me of the episode on The Simpsons when Bart sells his soul to the devil, and then he's just walking around, and people kind of feel like there's something odd about this kid. That's basically what it is. He has no soul. A pariah has no like connection to the fantasy of the immaterium.
It'd be like we're all in a huge horror movie. We're like, there's something off with this kid. Is he gonna kill me in my sleep? Like, yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Next question.
This one's by DeFool06. Can the Emperor prevent pregnancy? Because, he protects.
Yes. I've seen the meme of the condom.
Yeah, that's true.
Next question comes from The Best Virginian. If Ron Swanson was a chapter master of a Space Marine Legion, what trait flaws would the Legion have? So the trait that they would have is that they would be amazing builders, probably to the standard of the Imperial Fists, but they would be like woodworking type of carpenters and all that kind of stuff. There's even a Space Marine chapter, I forget what they're called, but they were like really strong in like artisanry. They used to make like beautiful paintings and stuff like that, and like the thing was that they were they were secret successor chapters of the Thousand Sons, because the Thousand Sons were all about that. So I think that would be kind of the same vibe for Ron Swanson's chapter, the Swansonians. I don't know.
They all have to have mustaches though.
Yeah, and their negative trait, they would have an unfounded hatred for the imperial bureaucratic system. Well, it's not unfounded though. Okay, I don't know. Next question.
This one's by Philip H86. Why is WAAAGH pronounced WAAAGH with no G? It's because there's a GH. The H has a lot to do with it.
Yes, English itself is kind of weird. Next question comes from Timothy Armstrong. Second time asking, what faction do you guys think has gone the longest without an update and their codex and model? The Inquisition? I don't think the Inquisition even has a codex in 8th edition.
No, they got lumped in together with Sisters.
Is it? Really?
I think so. Maybe.
But yeah. Other than that, what do you think?
I was going to say the Harlequins, but I mean, they're getting a single model, and
They had their codex during the first phase of the Psychic Awakening.
I don't know, because I know before it used to be the Orcs, before they got their new codex, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like recently every faction has gotten their little upgraded stuff. If not, then it's coming. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Next question from Madman. What wouldn't happen if the Horus Heresy was reversed, in that all the Loyalist Primarchs now became traitors, then all the traitor Primarchs now remained? Oh, what would have happened? Sorry. So basically, it was like flip-flopped. My throat.
That's the Nurgle's blessing getting you.
Yeah. So I think Horus would take the place of Gilliman. So we would have a Horus model instead of a Gilliman model.
Oh, that'd be great. Well, yeah, I think that'd still be great.
Who would have been the Horus then, do you think? Probably Gilliman, because Gilliman's like goofy like that.
Goofy like that?
Like, like he would fall for...
You're saying he's gullible.
Yeah.
Gullible Gilliman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say that Rogaldorn would be like the Horus, but I don't think so.
No, I can't see that.
Yeah. He would be like, obviously, the Iron Warrior, the Cherabo dude.
I could see maybe Lehman Russ. I mean, that would kind of fit his character a little bit, but at the same time...
He's not very charismatic. He'd kind of fight with every single chapter.
Yeah, he'd I mean, that's good, because that'd be fueling chaos, like fighting everybody.
Yeah.
getting knocked out by a single punch by another Primarch.
Which Primarch would you want to be as a loyalist? That would be the most badass to be a loyalist.
Probably the Night Lords, the Night Haunter, because
Yeah.
he was done dirty. Socio.
I think it would be interesting to see what would happen to the word bearers. Because the ecclesiarchy would be in control, and the word bearers would probably represent like those Space Marine chapters that are extremely devout to the Emperor.
So they'd be essentially like the Black Templars.
Yeah. Ooh, my back.
Ooh, my neck.
My. Next question.
This one is by Scriptor Rolandrius. Robert Gilliman wrote the Codex Astartes, and Conrad Kurz a book about torture. Which book would you guys write?
A book about terrain building? I don't know. Yeah.
But it'd have to be written in a way of like Dr. Seuss.
Oh. Like rhyming, you mean?
Yeah. Like you cut the foam board here and there, and then you glue it under there. 'Cause I'm not wearing any underwear. Hey, look. Is that a bear?
Perfect.
Sign me up.
Yep.
Publishing companies, get at me.
Next question comes from, my stomach. Tyler Blaze. Why did the episode of For the Greater WAAAGH have the best intros? Oh, why did this? It was the one where you went, didn't you go like Zapatito Blanco, Zapatito Azul?
Yeah, that was, I don't know. These things come to me like as soon as like we start.
Yep. It's just something that happens. It's a gift.
It's like what the Greeks used to call being possessed by a muse, where you're no longer yourself. You're just in the zone, auto zone, and you just.
Is AutoZone considered essential during the quarantine?
I've seen some closed and I've seen some open.
It depends on the workers.
It depends on the
traffic.
No. What was it called? The density of the Hispanic community.
If there's a lot of Hispanics, it's gonna just stay open.
Yeah.
Because we gotta fix our cars, apparently.
Oh, dude, I've been nonstop fixing my car for like 2 months now.
Yeah, that's when you gotta just buy the Tesla.
I should, or get that like Humvee Tesla thing.
That looks like something straight out. Like I wouldn't even see that in 40K. No, you know what? It actually looks like the Militarum Tempestus. What are they called? Taurox?
Yeah, the Taurox Prime.
Yeah. Next question comes from Vladimir Putin. Which army do you think GW will come out with next?
Ooh, brand spanking new army.
I don't think they're going to come out with anything new. I really think that they're using their creative juices for like Blackstone Fortress, Kill Team. That's where we're seeing
Necromunda.
That's where we're seeing the cool ass innovations. What was the latest one? They brought back the that lizard thing.
The Zote.
The Zote. Yeah.
Yeah, Blackstone Fortress is really giving us like all these, not the auxiliaries, but like lesser known species that wouldn't really work as a full faction,
but work now.
I don't know. I'd like to see GW put out more like Imperial Guard ish like armies, kind of like the War Cry, how that's doing it.
Yeah,
like you get a whole like, these are like the Astra Militarum if they were from like Nocturne, or these are the Astra Militarum if they were from like a desert world or something like that.
Yeah, and that's like a cash cow for Games Workshop, because if you think about it, all you have to do is come out with a box that has 10 for, how much is the boxes for the...
Let's say like
$50?
50, yeah.
So it's like, you're not just going to buy one, because you're an Imperial Guard player. You need to buy like a whole mob of them. So you're dropping like $300, $400 just to complete your troop choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be kind of cool. Next question comes from WAAAGH. If mankind suddenly found a way to make new... Oh, no, we already talked about this.
We talked about this one before, but I think our answers might be different. So let's do the Clone Lieutenant. What would be your ideal Rogue Trader dream team? 4-man squad.
So I'm going to change it up a little bit. My muscle's going to be an Ogren. Did I say an Ogren last time? I don't think I did.
No.
So an Ogryn's gonna be my muscle. The brains of my my operation is probably gonna be a Jakiro weapon. No, I said Jakiro weaponsmith last time.
Yeah. Let me change it up. But no, these are the exact same answers.
Yeah.
Like, let's say that your original dream team died mysteriously in the war, but now you got to come up with a new squad.
Yeah. So I'd still think I'll stick with the Ogryn. I'll throw in a commissar as like the person to keep me devout. I'll for the brains. That's a tough one. Who's smart in the 40k world? Like what faction?
The orcs.
Yeah.
Orchimedes himself.
Yeah, he would lead. Ooh. Come back to me. What would you say?
Hands down, I would have to start off with a thick Earth cast Tau. And then I'd move it up to a Sister of Battle, and then finish it off with an Eldar Farseer.
Oh, you're getting like a woman team together.
Get my harem going.
That's only 3 though.
That's all I need.
Okay.
I'm the 4th.
In that situation, then
I would go back in time, get me from like 5 minutes earlier, and then go forward in time. It'd be 2 of me's and 3 of them.
That's definitely possible with a warp. It's been done before.
With the orcs.
Damn. I think I'd just be like Bridget B and maybe a Tech Dominus. I don't know. Yeah, that's about it.
Would Bridget B be like just a regular human, or would she have some augmentations going on?
Augmentations. I don't want to tell you guys what they are. You guys don't need to know. Last question. What do you got?
This one's by Zadrigo. Didn't human pre-Empire civilization and Eldar Empire overlap at the height of their powers? Were there major clashes between them, and how can it be that both of them dominated the galaxy? Is this just a mistake in the 40k lore?
It's a point of anger and like, yeah, it's just a part that it doesn't make sense. I've always talked about this, especially when we're talking about the timeline of 40k.
You were making a video on that, and it's like a lot of things don't.
Yeah. And it wasn't like that before. Like the Slanesh's birth was not the reason for the Age of Strife. From my understanding, it was like something completely different. But yeah, it doesn't make sense that the Imperium was at their golden age of technology, but then so were the Eldar. Like it just doesn't make sense. And it's not like they were far away. If you look at the map of the galaxy, the Eye of Terror, which was the center of the Eldar Empire, was very close to Terra. It's not like they were on opposite sides.
Right. And you can't control the majority of the galaxy if both of these races control the majority of the galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, it could be that we're just misinterpreting how powerful they were during the Dark Age of technology. Maybe they were just like burgeoning like the Tau are right now. Where like the Tau are kind of at like a really good point, but then at the same time they're nowhere near as powerful as the Imperium.
Right.
But I don't know.
I mean, it could be that both of them peaked at that time, and they were both like at the pinnacle at their golden age, but they were still in combat against one another. But that still doesn't explain how they were both in control of most of the galaxy.
Yeah, and why isn't it talked about?
Right.
Like, it's weird that it wasn't talked about.
And I don't think we're gonna get an answer to that because like the timeline's going forward. They're not really answering stuff from the back.
If they are, they're probably going to talk about the war in heaven, which I would want them to do.
I really want them to. Yeah.
But yeah.
It'd be great if that a Stardy guy did a whole series on the war in heaven. Yeah. Which, I mean, he kind of showed us like a little preview of what's to come. But it was more Space Marine stuff, which looked amazing. Yeah.
And, oh yeah, the Iron Hands chapter thing.
They were getting shot at by like some needler-like weapon.
Halo.
Blue needles? Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below. Thank you guys so much for sending these questions our way. Don't forget we have a Patreon, we have a Facebook, we have an Instagram. So if you guys want to keep talking to us, we're live on all those.
Are we?
Yeah. Well. This is Gershwan.
The Sound Alchemist, and we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.